Hi everybody, welcome back to the Gamers Vault. I'm your host James, aka Outbreak Survivor, and today we are not doing a case mod or a repair. And don't get me wrong, I'm not stopping it. I got a lot of things planned. I've got some other stuff coming up, another project. You guys are gonna love it. I got a lot of things planned. Today I want to revisit one of my videos, kind of give you an update, you know. So, the first time I did YouTube, I did a kind of a rant on a specific console that was coming out. Or, well, it was being like, kind of like kickstarted, or should I say Indiegogo campaigned. And that would be the Retro Engine Sigma. And I was upset, and I was annoyed, and a lot of people bashed me on it because I was so upset that I didn't get my facts straight, and people were so mad at me about it. And for those people, I apologize again, sincerely. But it doesn't it doesn't underline the fact that I wasn't wrong. So in this updated video of Outbreak Survival, or I should say, excuse me, the Gamers Vault, we're gonna go ahead and take a relook at the Retro Engine Sigma. And I'm going to give you some facts. Some of it comes from their site, others from other sites. And I'm going to put them in the description below, as well as try to pop some videos in our... I'm going to do puppets and pop some pictures there so you guys can get what I'm talking about. I'm not saying a lot of you are dumb, but I want to make sure you guys know I did my homework this time before making this video. And of course, if you have any discussions, if you have any comments, leave them down below. And we'll get started. So, let's take a look at the Retro Engine Sigma. Unlike when it first came out, they did not give out the specs. And I was like, damn, they didn't give out the specs? That's kind of stupid. So I look at the Indiegogo campaign today, and guess what I found? They gave out the specs. I'm going to show you guys a picture, put it somewhere in the video, or I'll pop it down below, whatever the other. You guys can see it. And I'm going to read you some of the specs. If you see me look up, guys, I apologize. I have a secondary monitor up here, and it helps me to see what I'm looking at, so I can tell you. Let's go to the specs. So according to their tech specs, they have an all-winner H3 CPU, 4 Cortex A7, up to 1.2 gigahertz processor. Wow. A Mali 400 MP2 GPU. Just in case, guys, I'm going to be a little bit, for those people who don't know, that means graphics. 400. Mali GPU. Keep all this in mind. 512 DDR RAM. 2 USB ports. Micro USB. That's for that makes sense. Okay. 5 volt, 2 amp power supply. Micro SD card reader. 1632 gig. Yeah, about right. Programmable status light, the little light that tells you that it's on. 2 USB buttons for player 1, player 2. HDMI, and it gives you the width and length of how they make it a case for all this. Not bad so far. Except that it looks like a Sega Genesis, but okay. I'll let that sit for a minute. Let's take a look at another site. Oh, there it is. There's one. Orange Pi Lite. Let's look at their specs. I mean, gotta be different from the one I saw, right? It just gotta be. Okay. It uses an all-winner H3, 1.2 gigahertz processor. Okay. 2 USB ports. Okay. Wi-Fi. BGN. All right. 512 RAM. Sounds familiar. Micro USB. HDMI. 5 volt, 2 amp direct current. Cool. Not bad. Oh, yeah, and 400 GPU, Mali. Really? Why does that sound familiar? Because it's exactly the same board that's in the fracking Indiegogo campaign, and they're selling it to you for $80. Let's find out why. I want to buy the orange Pi Lite. I want to buy that one instead. Let's find out how much it costs. Let's see here. Orange Pi Lite. Trying to find the price. Let's see. Orange Pi Lite cost. I'm using Google Glider, by the way, guys. I'm not fucking around. AliExpress. What do you got it for? By the way, I just used AliExpress to buy my new soldering station. I love that site, and I'm not getting their whatever you want to call it, advertisement fee. I'm not doing that crap. I just like the site. If you haven't gone to it, go to it. $15. $15 for that board. I'm gonna say it again. The Retro Engine Sigma for the starter kit is $80. This is $15 goddamn dollars. Minus the case, of course. If you want cases that look like retro systems, go to Etsy. Someone will 3D print you one. Or nowadays, from what I see, someone took a mini USB Sega Genesis lookalike and put a Raspberry Pi in it. And you get a not better graphics, but you get a better design for it. So, all right. Now that the tech specs is over with, let's move on a little bit. This campaign raised, let's see, you raised a lot here. $582,429. That's a lot of money. Retro Gaming Simplified, computer, 4K Media Center, and the greatest retro station known to man. Okay. I'm going to compare it to the Raspberry Pi, and it's not. So please, I know you guys are probably saying, well, it's not a Raspberry Pi, so why do you keep comparing it to that? All right. I'm going to compare it to that for one reason. They're going to be using Kodi, which is an open-ended software for everyone to use. But they're saying that this system is going to be a 4K Media Center system. I'm going to explain how 4K works to those people who don't know. What do you need for 4K? 4K TV? 4K HDMI. You can't use regular HDMI. Has to be 4K. There's a reason why behind it. It's more technical than anything else. You can always look it up online. Google it like I always do. And finally, the device itself has to put out 4K. I highly doubt on a 400 GPU Mali, it's going to display 4K. That's wrong. False advertisement. Right there. So, I'm going to go down a little bit because I got one more fact I want to put out to you guys. Well, two more. And then I swear to God, I will stop. And I'll leave it for you guys to interpret. This came from their site, from the Indiegogo campaign. I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to give you my interpretations of this paragraph. It says, while we have worked with most of our manufacturing partners for years, and they have decades of experience in video game peripherals products. They have decades of experience in video game peripheral products. Who is it? The Orange Pi Lite team? There's always a chance of problems in the delivery chain causing delays. It happens with anybody. If essential components used in the project become unavailable, we might be forced to make changes to the planned product to facilitate suitable replacement components, causing delays. One of our suppliers could go out of business or be unable to scale production volume up quickly enough if the demand exceeds our estimates. Custom procedures, certification requirements may change and cause delays. With all unfinished projects, there's always a chance of a patent or legal claims by third parties that need to be addressed and may cause delays or project cancellations. While these risks exist, we have put contingency plans in place where possible, and we are confident we can deliver the project to spec on time. So, I'm gonna read two parts to you, so that way you guys get what they're trying to say. With all unfinished projects, there's always a chance of patent or other legal claims by third parties that need to be addressed and may cause delays or project cancellations. Who could sue these people? Because I want this project to go through. I mean, if I'm one of those people who spent $80 on this product or $129 on this product, I really want them to go through, you know? Well, let's start with Sega. And I'm going to say Sega because their first models that are coming out are going to be the Sega Genesis lookalikes. And the reason why I say Sega is because Sega, even though they're not making consoles anymore, they still own the rights, the patent to the Sega Genesis. That is still theirs. Nobody can take it from them unless they give permission to a third party, like At Games did. At Games is a third party who made a crappy system, I'm sure you guys have seen it, of a Sega Genesis that still plays Sega Genesis cartridges. So I gotta give them props. Not only did they give us a shit system, but we can still play cartridges on it. Okay. But At Games got permission from Sega to do that. That's important. So they don't get sued for likeness rights. So I kept looking at the site and I was like, what else do they have? And I look and I find that they changed the case. Not bad. The case looks familiar though. What could it be? It's an Atari. Just not close to Atari. It's barely infringing on their copyrights. They may get away with it or may not. Atari may not be a player anymore, but someone owns the rights to the name and all likeness rights for the consoles. Guys, keep these in mind. Because I'm not saying that this product is not going to launch. It is definitely going to launch. 100% going to launch. But, will it go through the process? Please, guys. You can make these yourself. You don't have to follow my Raspberry Pi video. I'm sure there's plenty of other YouTubers who have done exactly what I've done. And you can get the cases 3D printed either from a friend or on Etsy. Because people do that online all the time. For a small fee. And you can have your own Retro Engine Sigma at your home. It's using Emulation Station. That's what it looks like to me. Using Emulation Station, guys. One of the videos on there, not videos, pictures, shows someone using Emulation Station. That's what they're using to run this product. I want to see, for those of you guys who do get this product, I want to see if Nintendo 64 works properly. Because it hasn't worked properly on RetroPie or Emulation Station on the Raspberry Pi, and I haven't seen it run properly in any of those small computers. They were not able to emulate that properly. These emulators are free to everybody. They were created by people to give you an experience of playing a console without owning the console. So that's another third party that can be involved. Because even though it's free, they don't want them to use it to make money off their product, of their hard work. Same goes for the ROMs. They're not putting ROMs on here. Why? Because they know that infringes on copyright law. Because Nintendo and Super Nintendo and again Sega own the rights to those IPs. Those are theirs. Konami, that's theirs. I'm sure there's millions of ROMs out there that are still owned by those people. Even though they're not played in circulation, that is theirs. They own it. They don't need to renew that. That is theirs. Anyway, guys, I am done off my soapbox. I gave you a lot of facts to look over. You make the calls. Leave some comments down below. Tell me what you think. Are you getting the Retro Engine Sigma? And if so, I invite you guys to give your response video. Put it down below. I want to see it. I want to see what it looks like. And I want you guys, if you want to, if you're that daring, I want you to open it up. And if Retro Engine Sigma team, or Toyota, which is the company, wants to respond to my video, they can. I'd be more than happy to actually speak to them. Do me a favor, open up a unit and take a picture and show everybody what it looks like inside. I'm sure you have one lying around. I'm sure. Either way, guys, I appreciate you guys listening to me today. Again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. That way you guys get the new videos that are coming up. I got a lot of repair videos coming up, so I want you guys to be a part of that as well. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And take care, and I'll see you next time in the vault.